Good evening, everyone. Thank you guys for joining our National Training CDL Tuesday night webinar. My name is Kayla Hartwig. I'm one of the admissions representatives here at National Training. I'd like to welcome you all this evening. We're going to have a very special guest, John Brantley with Cheney Brothers. I know he is currently getting where he can log in safely. So we're just going to go through a little bit of housekeeping before we turn the lines over to him for a little while this evening. All right, let's see here. So just some of the housekeeping, as I said, you may be joining us on your phone or your tablet, maybe even an iPad or a desktop computer. So we're going to go over what some of the icons mean that you might be seeing on your screen. The first icon is going to be this orange or red microphone. Everybody currently is in the listen only mode until we open up the phone lines for questions here in a little while. Number 2 is going to be your hand icon. If everyone can go ahead and hit that hand icon so I can make sure that you guys can hear me. Wonderful. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. And I can put them all down in one foul swoop. All right, and number 3 is going to be your question icon, the question mark. If you have any questions or if I'm going too fast, feel free to go ahead and type your question into the chat box, and I'll be happy to answer it for you. Again, we will open up the phone lines here in just a little while for you guys to be able to ask some questions to John or to myself. A little bit of information about who we are here at National Training. We were incorporated in 1978 as a post-secondary vocational education institution. We are committed to providing a strong curricula with programs that emphasize practical, usable skills blended with a relevant general education foundation. We have a caring environment with personal attention and close faculty-student interaction. We also have open door admission. We are Florida's oldest private truck driving school with a state-of-the-art training facility, and our 1.25-mile multi-lane highway ensures safer, more efficient training. We have graduated over 40,000 students since 1978. Why drive a truck for a living? You might ask yourself this question. Simply put, job security. Right now, this industry, as it always has been, is a very stable industry. There's always going to be freight. 93% of the things you touch have at one point or another been on a semi-truck. So as we're waiting for John to join us, I think he's having some technical difficulties here. We're going to kind of go over our virtual tour. We have a virtual tour set up of our school here. So I'd love to show you guys what we have to offer here at our training facility.
Kaylin, can you hear me?
I can't hear you. Is this John?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. It's showing that you're offline.
I just want to make sure. I apologize for.
Not a problem. I totally understand. Sometimes these apps are a little more of a hassle than they can be worth at times. So I totally get it. Can you see my screen okay, John?
No, I cannot see the screen. Let me see.
Okay.
No, I've just got my phone.
Not a problem, my dear. We'll just talk and discuss some things, and everybody else should be able to see my screen. If everybody else can raise their hand to indicate that they can, in fact, see my screen that shows the Cheney Brother website. Wonderful. Thank you, guys. All right. So, John, tell us a little bit about the company Cheney Brothers, a little bit about your history.
Well, Kayla, number one, I want to thank you for having us on tonight and everything, because there's so much going on in not only the trucking industry, but in our industry, the food industry, with so much happening over the past 2 years with the pandemic and everything. And it's bounced back quickly. And when everything kind of went downhill, it went downhill in a hurry, and it's been a lot slower to get it back to where we had it prior to that. But Cheney Brothers been around 97 years. It's a Florida-owned and operated company. We are now in 5 states. We're a food distributor. Our biggest thing is that we sell, napkins and straws all the way to prime rib and lobster and deliver to the local restaurant industry. We also have the state contract for every prison and every correctional institution in the state. That's why we got to be a little bit tougher on our hiring process, because we're around food and items that are delivered to every prison here in the state of Florida and everything. But, mainly our guys are driving, cab tractors and 28-foot pup trailers, reefer trailers. And, our competition is, you see them out there, is Cisco and McLean's and Gordon's and U.S. Foods. So we're in that same arena. The thing that we got to do is separate ourselves, because we all sell the same chicken. And how you do that is basically by service and having great drivers who are not only good drivers, but can move in a rapid and safe pace, but also have a personality to deal with our clientele within the restaurant industry.
Fantastic. So you guys, I keep hearing that word local. That's a very appealing thing to a lot of our students and a lot of drivers out there, is that home daily opportunity. So you guys, I know you personally work out of Ocala, correct?
Yes, I'm at our largest distribution center for the whole state of Florida is in Ocala.
That is wonderful. So tell us
But then we have extended yards, and following up on that, not to cut you off, but we lease all our equipment. So we have extended yards. We're about 80% Penske, 20% Ryder. So what we've done, we've developed a program to where we have yards that we have to shuttle to in the evenings. That's one of our driving position, is having a doubles endorsement and taking the loaded trailers from our distribution center in Ocala to the areas that I'm responsible for. I'm responsible for North Florida, from Orlando north, and the state of Georgia. So I have a Penske yard or a Ryder yard either in Orlando, in Daytona, in Jacksonville, in Savannah, Macon, Tallahassee, and Pensacola. So we store our tractor trailers in there, and we shuttle the loaded trailers to them each during the evenings, and then our route drivers go out of there the next morning and deliver the food to the restaurant industry. But regardless, whether you got day routes or night shuttles, you sleep in your own bed every day, like you mentioned.
That is a huge positive factor for a lot of those drivers out there, especially those who might have some young kids at home, or even people who just don't feel like going a long period of time away from home. Totally understandable.
I totally agree, and I really emphasize that part of it. And granted, and we're going to talk about it here shortly on developing a program we're working on to where these guys that are the newbies that are recently getting their license, their Class A license. So, most of them today are having to go out over the road and develop that experience, because it's been proven that most of your track record of dealing with accidents or anything like that normally happen in your first year. And that's just getting used to driving in that environment and the places we have to go. But, well, we're working on some new programs to get away from that, where these guys doesn't have to leave their families, and they can do it in their backyard and get the training necessary to get in a role where they can get out there by themselves a lot quicker.
That is fantastic. So tell us a little bit of what you guys have to offer to these CDLA local route drivers.
Well, number one, and I know you're a training facility and everything, but I believe you got some guys that and ladies. We got lady drivers too, so I'm not going to cut that short as well. But we've got opportunities in most our areas, because we're gearing back up. The restaurant industry's gone crazy. We're booming again. We did over $3 billion in sales last year at Cheney Brothers. Now, it's a very competitive business, and the market for that, the business is very competitive. But that's a big number. With that being said, you got to move a lot of groceries, and that's what we've got to do. And we're responsible for, over 120 routes a day, and getting it out there and into the restaurant people and everything. But what we've got yards, as I mentioned, in those areas where I've got both route opportunities, which a route job, they normally start between 4 and 6:30 in the morning. They've got a designated route that they're going to each day, and normally between 13 and 17 stops a day, and they're delivering around 650 cases a day. We try not to load up our trailers like some of our competitors do, because it makes for a long day regardless. So the worst thing you can do is have food falling out on their first stop out the back door or a side door or anything. So we try to do it in a very strategic way to where they can get their day over with as quickly as possible and get home, enjoy the family and everything. Then our shuttle drivers come in the early evenings, and then what they do is basically hook up in doubles and take the empty trailers down to the Ocala facility, take a break, and then bring back the loaded trailers back and spot them in the yard at our designated Penske location or Ryder location. But those are the main two jobs. I mean, the thing about it is, I'm going to tell you, driving, I'm going to speak more on the route side of it. Very physical, very physical. I'm not going to kid you. Driving's about 35% of the job. The rest of the time, you're going to be in a weight room. You got to touch every case, unless you got a big load or a prison to where you've got access to a lift gate and a pallet jack. You're mainly, I have to tell the guys, you're basically going to be on a ramp with a hand cart, touch every case, and get it in the back of the restaurant, the clientele that we have to cater to and everything. So it's very physical. You're going to be in shape, but you're going to get paid well. That's the thing. We just came up with a new plan over the last 2 months. All our newbies, all our new drivers starting out with us, they're going to come right out of the gate making anywhere between $80,000 and $90,000. And then after that, every year you're with us, you're going to go up in money, because you're paid by the number of cases you deliver, the number of miles you drive, and the number of stops you make. And we also have a 10% weekly bonus if you adhere to the guidelines that we've got set up. Basically showing up to work on time, your pre-trip, post-trip inspection, no tickets, no accidents, no customer complaints. We're going to pay you another 10% of your gross pay for basically encouraging you to do your job. And then after you've been with us 6 months, every June and December, we have a $1,000 safety bonus for all our drivers who have no tickets, no accidents. So, new guys coming out, they're making 80 to 90. I've actually got a driver who's got he's got a great route down in Orlando. He makes up to 140,000. So it's just how many cases you deliver and how rapidly you can move and make it happen. But it's a great opportunity for somebody that gets out there and wants to make some money. And as I got to hand it to Cheney Brothers. They don't mind paying their people. If you're willing to work, Cheney Brothers will pay you. I promise you that.
That's awesome. That's some very impressive money for those newbies that are, like you said, just getting started. That's a great opportunity. So in addition to the pay,
but you earn it, Kaylee. But you earn it, and I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. I mean, you're going to earn that. You're going to earn your money. But once you get in shape and you start learning boxes and you start learning your route and learning your customers, now you're getting back 30 minutes earlier. Now you're getting back 45 minutes. Now you're getting back an hour. So it's just getting more experience and giving it time. Too many guys hear the money and they don't give it enough time to get used to the routine. And that's what you've got to do. It's like I'm a high school football coach. I'm the head football coach also. Cheney Brothers, tell you the kind of company Cheney Brothers is. They allow me to be a high school head football coach here in Ocala at Trinity Catholic. So that's the kind of people I'm working with, and they want to see their people be successful.
That's wonderful to hear. When you treat your employees well, you get a really good production and response back from that as well. So, in addition to the great pay and the awesome ability to be home every day, what kind of benefits do you guys have, like health insurance and things like that?
Well, that's a key thing too, and Cheney Brothers doesn't they don't slack in that area as well. We pay 90% of your individual health insurance with Cigna. 90% of your health insurance, which is major medical. If you need dependent care or whatever, HR roll that out at orientation, and if it makes sense financially, you can participate in that. If not, you're more than welcome to go somewhere else. But the key thing is we pay 90% of that individual major medical with Cigna. We also have a matching 401k plan that they can participate in. We have all the AVLAC products. We have paid vacation. After 6 months, you qualify for a week's paid vacation. We have paid 4 days sick time after a year being with us that will pay you for 4 days of sick pay while you're out and everything. So, everything a corporation that is our size, we're going to put that out there. Dental, eye, all those you're going to have presented to you at orientation when you come on board with us.
That is awesome. Love to hear that. Now, John, can you tell me a little bit about the equipment that your drivers use, your Class A drivers have? What kind
Well,
of
like
truck?
I was saying earlier, the thing that I think intrigues and get some of our drivers that come on board excited is that they're going to have good equipment. That's the reason our relationship with Penske and Ryder is that we lease all our tractors and all our trailers. So if anything's wrong with anything, lights, any type mechanism or anything like that with the reefer trailers or anything, you red tag it and it's going to get fixed right away. If not, they're going to provide something for us right there. So you're always going to have good equipment. The biggest thing I've seen in the last 5 years is the change from manual to automatics. We're about now 70% automatic versus manual, and mainly what we're doing there is that you're trying to attract the new young drivers to get in our industry, and they're going to be more conducive and more safe conscious working with an automatic. Some of our old guys, they don't like them, but you find out when you're in the restaurant business and you get downtown St. Augustine and Jacksonville and Orlando, that automatic's probably a better option for you anyway. But all our new tractors that are coming in now, they're all automatics.
Fantastic. So they all drive day cabs. Is that, or that's what you're going to be driving?
Day cabs. We're all day cabs. We don't have any night cabs because you get to sleep in your own bed every day.
Again, I love that. Now, what size trailers do you guys haul? I'm going to assume it would be refrigerated trailers, correct?
Yep, they're all refrigerated, but mainly the bulk of them are all 28. I mean, we got some of the larger ones that we do for backhauls when we bring some products in from some of our companies that we may own out there. But a majority of all our trailers are 28-foot pub trailers.
Fantastic. All right. So as far as training goes, once they leave our school and they come to you to work, what kind of training program do you guys have?
Well, the first thing, if they get hired and they come on, they've got to go through an orientation. And they come in there and they're going to get the same benefit that we just talked about and all that. They get signed up for that. They learn the Cheney way. We go over safety, hazmat. You got to tag into how we do things, how we do conduct business. And that takes about a week. We put them up in Ocala at our big facility, and we pay for them to be in a hotel. We pay for their gas and mileage to get there and get home and everything. And while they're doing that training or going through the orientation, they're getting paid $20 an hour plus true overtime. So, you're not just sitting there. You're sitting there doing paperwork, and you're still getting paid well to do that. Then after they get through the orientation, they return to that yard that they're designated or they're going to work out of it. May it be Jacksonville, Savannah, Ocala, Orlando, whatever. And they get paid $200 a day while they're going through their training period. Now, we try to tell them, and it could take up to 6 months, and that's the goal, to have it done within 6 months to where you can get out on your own, and now you can start making the serious money, and that's when you get paid by the case, the miles, and the stops, and that's when you start making the $80,000 and above. But while you're going into training, and I keep telling these guys, and I know we got some there probably listening, you know, you got to see the big picture. If you'll go through the training process and learn how we do things, you know, and see the big picture for down the road where the money really comes into play, you go. But we're still going to make it worth your time. You know, $200 a day, plus any overtime and your benefits and everything that's associated with that. And it could be shorter than that. I'm not supposed to say that, but obviously, if you've got a driver that's had experience in the past, you know, maybe even without a CDL, but they drove, you know, some vehicles in the service or flatbed trucks or whatever, but they've had some type of experience, they're going to be apt to move out of that training session time frame to where we can put them on a route and put them there in their own tractor trailer, and they can start making the big money. But, you know, I got to be realistic. It's strictly up to whether that young person is comfortable with what they're doing, and we're comfortable as a company to cut them loose to go out there and make the money they deserve.
Absolutely. Well, John, it sounds like you guys have a lot to offer to a lot of great people. Is there anything else that you feel like you would like to express about your company to the
No,
people?
I can't say enough good things about them. You know, obviously I was in the insurance business 28 years and coaching football, and Cheney Brothers approached me about being their director of recruiting, and I've had a ball meeting wonderful people throughout the Southeast. Truck drivers are unique people. I admire them for what they do and everything. And I've met a lot of great people that way. But the thing about Cheney Brothers, I can say, they've been, when you're looking for a company, stability, 97 years. All right.
Absolutely.
Number two, we're privately held. One family owns this whole business. We're not publicly traded like a lot of our competitors are. One family owns this whole business. And number three, we're in the food industry. That's about as recession proof as you can get. I thought the insurance business was recession proof, and it is, because you can't buy a car, you can't buy a house without buying insurance. But people got to eat, and so that's three key points I can tell you about Cheney Brothers. 97 years in business, privately held, and we're in the food industry, about as recession proof as you can get.
Absolutely. Well, John, I so appreciate you joining us this evening. I want to go ahead, before you take off, I want to open up the phone lines and see if anybody has any questions for you in regards to Cheney Brothers. If you guys have questions, go ahead and raise your hand, and I'll go ahead and unmute you so you're able to ask your questions. Or you can pop it in the chat as well, if that would be easier for you. Zakaria, go ahead and unmute yourself. You can click your microphone and ask your question.
Unmuted.
Zakaria,
Oh, okay.
Hello, did you hear me?
I can. What's your question for John?
Oh, yeah. No,
How much does it cost?
yeah, I'm just wondering what about my financial aid, because I didn't pay nothing for the school, and I didn't know how am I gonna do it.
Okay, for the school, we can absolutely go over. We're actually going to cover that a little bit here in just a few minutes. Did you have any questions for John about Cheney Brothers and his company?
No, what I heard, everything is awesome. It's good. I like
Okay.
that. I like that benefit that you have. Yeah, it's good.
Wonderful. Well, like I said, Zakaria, just hold tight for just a moment, and we'll definitely answer those questions, because we're going to go through some of the finance options for you about the school, okay?
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Jeffrey Young, go ahead and you click your microphone, unmute yourself, ask your question. Jeffrey, if you can hear me, go ahead and click your microphone so you can ask your question.
Can you hear me?
I can. Go ahead and ask your question for John.
Hey, Mr. John, this is Jeffrey Young. I see that y'all have like a lot of stuff to offer. I heard like you said that, you know, it's a harder company to get hired by, but do y'all like give people a chance though that you see that has, you know, changed their ways from their, say, the youth that's been like so far, you know, in the past?
Jeffrey, that's a great question because I get asked that a lot because I look at you can't imagine how many applications I look at on a weekly basis and everything. But you know, I don't want to use the word lenient, but we've become more open to what you're talking about. So every application is looked at a one-on-one basis. I mean, for me to say that, you know, let's face it, there's a lot of us. We've done stupid things in the past. We probably regret or whatever. And so what we do is when we look at an item on an application that may address what some of their past, we're gonna move forward, and we're still gonna get it to HR and get all the facts and get everything, and everything's gonna be looked upon that way. So if you're ever want to, you know, provide and get an application for Cheney Brothers, fill it out. Am I going to sit here and say you're going to get hired until I know everything that's involved with that? I can't say that, but I would not let it deter you from filling out an application and becoming a part of our team.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Yes, sir.
John, we did get a question in the chat. What's the best way to apply for your company?
Well, the best way, there's two ways. The best way is reach out to me, J Brantley, all lowercase, J Brantley, Brantley, at Cheney Brothers, and that's plural, Cheney Brothers with two E's in Cheney, CheneyBrothers.com. Reach out to me, email me, and I'll forward you an app and a film and some more information about Cheney Brothers. Or you can go on CheneyCareers.com, and you can fill out an application. And if it's for North Florida, just hit the Ocala branch, because the Ocala branch is responsible for, like I said, Orlando, Daytona, Jacksonville, Savannah, Tallahassee, and Pensacola. So go into CheneyCareers.com, hit Ocala, and you can fill out an application, and it'll come straight to my desk.
Fantastic. So I went ahead and I put in the chat to each and every one of you that are here tonight his email address as well as their website. That way you guys have a way to reach out to him. John, I so appreciate you coming on with us tonight. I look forward to working with you here again in the near future. If anybody else has any further questions, you guys can either reach out to me or you can send John over an email, like he said, at jbrantley@CheneyBrothers.com. Again, that is in the chat for each and every one of you to be able to take down as your notes. And John, I look forward to talking with you soon.
Well, I appreciate it. And let me tell you something about National. I've been to a lot of trucking outfits and institutes and stuff. Y'all do it first class, and proud to be a part of your program.
We really thank you for that, John. You have a wonderful night, and we will definitely talk soon.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Let's see here. All right, guys. Let's see. Brent, I see your question here. You said you told about route job drivers. What about shuttle drivers' pay and training? I happen to know the answer to this question, Brent. The shuttle drivers, they're making on average right out of the gate $55,000 to $65,000 a year starting out. Kind of the same training process as he was explaining with the route drivers. Their route does happen to be an overnight route. And what you do with them is you're going to be hauling double empty trailers from, if you're here in Jacksonville, from the Jacksonville yard to their distribution center in Ocala, and then hauling full trailers back to the yard. So it's an overnight route. It's what they call their shuttle. You're not unloading and loading trucks like you would as a route driver. Hope that answered your question for you. All right, guys. So to continue our evening here, we are going to hop back over to this virtual tour that I have going on over here. Please let me know if you cannot see it. So here we have the entrance to our building. This is our lobby area where we have lots of information in regards to other companies and our replacement information. On the first day of class, we also do DOT physicals and drug testing. If you don't have your DOT physical beforehand, we do have a doctor who comes in each and every class and does our physicals with us. It is a discounted rate here where we charge $90 for a DOT physical versus another institution that might charge like $110 based off of the doctor's office that you go to. We do have lifetime job placement assistance. So you'll be able to speak with myself or Miss Mary Beth, and we can definitely advise you in a great company that would be a good fit for you. We have relationships with over 150 different companies. This here is our lunchroom. We have vending machines, we have drink machine, snack machine, as well as sandwiches. We also have a refrigerator and microwaves for you to use at your leisure. Always make sure you bring your lunch when you come to school because we are a little ways out of the way. We're not on the beaten path. We also have a state-of-the-art simulator that you're going to be able to get some time on, as well as an in-house computer lab for any testing that might need to be done. John Adams here, he's the lead CDL instructor. He's your classroom instructor. I see a couple of our current students on here. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. And he is going to keep you guys so engaged and have so much fun. Going to go over all of your permit study, your log books, your DOT regulations, safety, everything of that nature that's going to be your behind the scenes, as I like to call it, of truck driving. Just to kind of speed it up here a little bit. We do break you off into groups of 4 whenever you're in a truck. When you're on the backing pad, half the class is over there, and the other half of the class will be on the shifting trucks. We're going to go over a detailed pre-trip inspection with you. All of our instructors have tons of experience and are so great at what they do. And we have a wonderful 1.25 mile private 2-lane highway.
Welcome aboard. My name is
Mike Adams here. He's our training director. I'm going to go over a little bit about the truck, but we'll just kind of glance through this real fast. We train in manual transmission tractor trailers, 9s and 10 speeds.
Start out with,
we have this 1.25 mile track, as I was explaining. All of our trucks are sleeper cabs with 53-foot trailers. And in the back of the cab, there are 3 additional air ride seats where you additional students who are not driving are sitting in the back observing. You learn just as much as an observer as you do as a driver. Just to kind of show you what our school looks like here, let's get to one of the aerial views. This is a good shot right here. Over here is where we teach you how to do all the backing maneuvers. You're going to learn how to do a straight line back, an offset, a 90-degree alley dock, as well as parallel park. This track that we have is state of the art. There's no other school like it that has a track like it, and we take a lot of pride in this facility. Our facility in total is 350 acres, so we have lots of room for you guys to learn and roam. The track is 2-laned, as you can see here. Each truck maintains its own lane, and you get to go all the way around, 1.25 miles. Our road trucks have cameras. One of them faces the front, one of them faces the rear. We have left side and right side. So the students who are in the back seat do get to see this view here, so they can see what the driver and the instructor are saying and seeing. As I said, instead of a bunk, we've got 3 additional air ride seats in the back for those additional students who are passengers and not the driver. Get you guys a good aerial shot here of our track. The track goes all the way around here in this nice wooded area. So it's a controlled environment that you guys get to learn on. A lot different than having to learn in the traffic or with other drivers as well. Mike has a pretty long spiel here. So you guys might ask yourselves, okay, I'm coming to school, but you might be coming from out of town. We get a lot of our wonderful students that come from out of town, and they'll stay at the Green Cove Springs Inn. It's an extended stay hotel, so it is not staffed 24/7, but we have great faculty that works there, and they will definitely help you out, get you in a nice room. We do have students who room together for their stay at the Green Cove Springs Inn. Has a nice patio area, barbecue grills, double occupancy, so you do have a roommate, and then there is the option for getting a private room as well. So just to kind of wrap up a few things here, we're going to go through just a few more items here. Let me get my display back up over here. All right. Let's see here. So we went over a little bit of about our trucks. This is what the inside of a truck might look like. You might not have ever seen the inside of a tractor trailer. You're going to have your captain's seat, your co-captain, your sleeping area, which could either be a bunk that is up elevated, or it can be a lower one like this with a dinette that you can make it into a table. Most companies, when you're doing the over-the-road stuff, does provide a microwave, maybe a TV, a mini fridge, things of that nature. Each company does have different options, though. You're going to get to haul all kinds of freight. Most of the companies are going to keep you primarily in a specified area of the country. And most offer weekly home time, great pay, steady runs, company benefits. Just a little bit of information about the statistics of what a truck driver makes. These are even on the lower end, honestly. We have to go by what the U.S. Bureau of Labor still publishes. School qualifications, go a little bit about that. We're going to look at your driving record, your criminal background, your physical abilities. Every student has to take a drug test on the first day of class. And most important, we want to know your intensity to succeed. We ensure that you can benefit from this training before you start. And by doing that, we're making sure, are you employable? Because that is the ultimate goal here, is for gainful employment. Our school is a 4-week residence hands-on training. Our campus, as I said, we have this 350 acres. This is our 1.25 mile private highway that you will learn how to drive that tractor trailer on. Our simulator, you will get some time on the simulator as a student here. We utilize this mostly for our backing skills, but we can also do road skills where we can have you on a inclement weather. If it's in the snow, make you have a flat tire. It's a really great tool that we have here. And we see a lot of great success with that simulator. We do have lifetime job placement assistance, and our career services department starts working with students on the very first day of resident training school. We use one-on-one private counseling sessions to direct our students to companies that would be a good match for both the company and the student. We want to make sure that that company you go work for, you can stay with for at least 1 year. We also have a job board for all of our alumni and graduates. We have where we list different job opportunities as a CDL truck driver. Might not even be a local, might not even be in the area that we are. We get it from all over the country so that all of our students are able to benefit from this. Again, as I was explaining, the Green Cove Springs Inn, each room has a microwave, refrigerator, free cable with HBO, and free Wi-Fi, great fast Wi-Fi. Messiah, I see your question here about the pricing for the hotel. Double occupancy, where you are roomed with another student, is $902 for 4 weeks. Breaks down to about $34 a night. Single occupancy rooms, if you're looking for a private room, it's $12.89 for the 4 weeks. We do have a couple of different options for the hotel. We have currently have a promotion where if you pay for the school in full up front, we will cover the cost of your hotel room for this double occupancy room. Otherwise, you could pay the difference. I believe it's $387 difference if you wanted a private room. But typically, you are responsible for the cost of the hotel. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the cost, fees, and financing. I know I got a question about that earlier. For the school itself, currently we are at $6,495 for our tuition for our CDL Now program. We have lots of different types of financing. Outside financing with either your bank or credit union. Some people will get like a personal loan. We also work with workforce, vocational rehab, Veterans Affairs, TAA, income share agreements. We currently are partnered with Mia Share, who is an income share agreement company. And we also have an in-house financing program. It's in half down. We'll finance the rest in-house. Your over-the-road or regional companies where you're going to be gone from home, most of those offer tuition reimbursement, which is a great opportunity for a lot of people because it allows them to kind of recuperate that investment that they've made. After all, we've been doing this for a long time, 43 years and counting, and it's all good. We have it all. We have the companies and the jobs. As I said, we have relationships with about 150 different companies. We get multiple companies, usually around the ballpark of 10 different companies that come and talk to our students each and every class. We have industry recognition. We are accredited with a lot of different companies and that know and trust our training here. We've partnered with them for a very long time. We have impeccable governmental relations. We've guaranteed tuition financing for everyone. As long as you are approved with your background check and your driving history to come to our school, we can get you financed. We have 38,000 graduates, actually we're probably at over 40,000 now, that came possibly before you. We have a program that is really fun to complete, and we have an awesome training facility. We do appreciate students from the Department of Veterans Affairs, Department of Vocational Rehab Programs, State Vocational Rehab Programs, State Workforce Programs, and the Bureau of Indian Affairs. National training is where trucking companies come for new drivers. In addition to John with Cheney Brothers, we have companies like TMC, Covenant, Schneider, Swift, Windy Hill Foliage. That's just a few to name out of the massive relationship we have in this industry. Once again, I'd like to open up the lines for any questions. You guys can type them in the chat or raise your hand and I'll be happy to call on you if you have any questions regarding the school itself. Or if you have reached out to our school, you're more than welcome to give us a call at 904-272-4000. You can speak with your admissions representative. Anybody have any questions that we haven't covered yet?
Can you repeat that phone number, please?
Yes, I can. 904-272-4000. Our office is
Thank
open.
you.
You're very welcome. Our office is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, just a few more things before we leave for the evening. Our next truck webinar is going to be Tuesday, April 12th, so 2 weeks from today at 6:30 as well. And our guest that evening will be John Hine with TMC, their regional flatbed company. We also have an open house that's going to be taking place on May 7th. That is a Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Highly recommend this event. Bring your family, bring your friends. We always have a company who comes in and talks with our students and potential students, give you a tour of our facility, get you up in a truck, even let you try out a piece of heavy equipment as well. It's a great time. Highly encourage you to attend if you're interested in this industry. Thank you all so much for attending our truck webinar this evening. Contact your representative or our admissions office first thing tomorrow. The admissions office, the 1-800 number is going to be 1-800-488-7364. Or as I said prior, you can call our local number at 904-272-4000. Your lost time is costing you big money. It's all good. Just make sure you guys call. Thank you guys so much again for attending tonight and joining me this evening to listen to John and ask such great questions. To access any help, you can click the help at the top of the control panel, or to leave the webinar, go ahead and click File and then Exit Leave Webinar. Thank you guys so much. Enjoyed having you. Again, you can go to File, then Exit Leave Webinar. If you are on a mobile device, there may be a arrow. That's how you get out. Again, File, Exit, Leave Webinar.